I was born in the Free State in a small town called Vredefort on a cattle farm. I played piano since I was about 4 years old, so I always had music as a way of expression, and it was an acceptable form of expression in the conservative Afrikaans community.
I have very similar background context than Karl. So I was born in Koster, of all places, small little town. I've always been involved in art making, always. So I worked in a sculptor's studio at one point to put myself for university, and I decided to go and study art. So it was very clear to me there was no other alternative. It was that or nothing. I
did a degree in theology and then an honors degree in psychology. After that I qualified as a computer programmer. In the 1980s, you had to do what you had to do. When I changed career, my tools were digital. It was an unknown art form, and that was the tools I knew. I was not a painter. Johan and I met during a period where we were challenged by other artists with concepts like collaboration.
In 2015 we went to the Venice Biennale. We saw a lot of collaboratives during that trip working together, and we decided to actually combine our skills.
Johan would present me with some photographs that he took in Rome and ask me, what can we do with this? At that point there's no traditional boundaries anymore. We spontaneously ran with it, scaringly so. I would do something and I would send it to Johan, not expecting anything to come from it. But the results of that initial collaboration, I think, blew us both away.
We sort of both shared the same kind of aesthetic and same approach to art making. We loved the Baroque, we liked drama, we liked craftsmanship, innovation. We created one identity, Ad Reflex, and it's about two artists, one mind, one application. AD stands for ascend and descend, and the reflex is how you react to this world, whatever comes your way. We get multiple inspiration from different things, from recycling to the work of Francis Bacon to the painting of Caravaggio. We're also friends. We like the same things. We discuss movies, we discuss life, travels, cuisine. So we've got a lot in common. We celebrate life.
When Johan and I start with a new work, we normally plot it on a piece of paper. We conceptualize, we talk about the subject matter, the idea, the size, more or less where we want to go with the work. Then we would start with certain inspirational reference material.
It has a total organic life for us. We jump from something from the 14th century to the 21st century and play with all the possibilities in between.
It always works like a stage on the digital side. And we start building a scene which has the potential to morph into a three-dimensional scene with different characters, certain elements drawn, certain elements sketched, certain elements part of photographs, until we have an identity. We would at that point embed real oil paint marks that we photographed and transform into digital format before the work goes into a print production.
We work with illusionisms. A lot of the previous paint marks we've done, he will cut, we will build those marks into the new work, warp it, stretch it, do new things with it, so it moves all the time, until the point we actually can't see what is fact and fiction. What is real, what's not, what is paint, what is digital.
A working session sometimes might result, Johan, for example, comes to work with me on a Friday. We have a great productive morning. Johan brought some fresh truffles or something from Pretoria, and it results into a cooking session. So we'll cook our own lunch and we'll open a bottle of wine and continue working.
There's like a wrongful assumption that if you are maybe very organized, as we are, we're both Scorpios by the way, so that helps, we're extremely organized, but we also know how to have fun. The painting act for me becomes like meditation. So you do tap into the fun side, the experimental side, the innovation side, and then I've got the ability, thankfully, to stand back and to become intellectual about it. Karl will bring something new digitally, and then I have to return the favour painterly with something inventive from my side. It will soon morph into something else. And then it becomes very expressive, where the paint sometimes becomes 3-4 centimeters thick, and just apply it. And in order to do that, you need to be in the moment. You need to be present. You need to have no self-doubt, because it will come through. So it's experimentation.
I also would like to add there that over the years, Johan has acquired the skill.
Yes.
So it's not just a laissez-faire event or execution, it's a skillful execution. I remember the first day he had to paint on perspex, and it was a small area, but there's no turning back. And over the years he really has fine-tuned that skill.
We disagree on maybe small things, I would say 5%, but 95% of the time we don't even have to talk about something. We have Bluetooth, we call it Bluetooth.
To be realistic, sometimes we go back and think about something. I think for both of us, because we're not perfect. I might sometimes present something or suggest something, or Johan might sometimes make marks or suggest something, and I would go quiet, go back and reconsider, and I think Johan sometimes does the same. But then we come to a good understanding.
And normally he realizes that he's wrong, and then life is better. People come from different backgrounds, so somebody approaches your work and they will appreciate the realism and the meticulous craftsmanship that went into a certain area and relate to that. Somebody else that reacts to abstraction, for example, will appreciate the way we've divided the picture plane and the way things morph into something else.
Emotionally, the first thing that comes to mind is people that live outside the box. Sometimes you have people that relate to the work out of the blue, somebody that you would never consider even look at art. I had a plumber coming into my house and relate to one of our most difficult works in a way I would never understand, and tell me stories.
Digital technologies are here to help and aid and spread the word. We often find that it's still not for us good enough to actually replace the tactility of the actual experience.
Because when they see that piece and the dissect there on Instagram, it looks nice. Yes. But when they stand in front of it here, it's a different experience.
Reaction. We have got the painterly, we've got the digital, we've got the dissect, the reflections. It's an immersive experience.
South Africa is in your blood. I love the energy, I love the possibilities.
The raw energy, the honesty.
I think South Africa makes you tough. To survive in South Africa, you've got to have resilience. And I'm very happy that South Africa gave me that.
People are expressive. People are not scared to voice their opinion. The colors, the textures, and the wine. As an artist, you want to spend your creative energy in the studio. You need to know that there's somebody having your back, doing the work of finding new clients. Otherwise, you're wasting all your time with something that you're not equipped to deal with.
There's the whole cycle of art making. We make art, we present art. It has to be appreciated somewhere. Somebody has to have it. It's not just about making money or becoming famous. It's a full circle. And we need a gallery to complete that circle. A gallery is a very strong part of that cycle.
One of the reasons why we joined R-Type is we didn't fit the box. I mean, we're working with paint on dye-sig, which nobody else, to my mind, does. And galleries will normally tell you that they like innovation, but I don't think they do, mostly. I think they like something that's safe.
R-Type was one of the first that showed faith in our work and our abilities. And to this day that we die, we'll appreciate that extremely.
Jan van Eyck, the Ghent altar piece. The moment I was in front of it, I knew it's the closest thing to divinity or perfection that you can find. It was done in 1430. It took them 4 or 5 years, him and his brother, to actually complete the work. Every square centimeter on that panel, and it's about 3 by 4 meters, is utter perfection, done with love, done with dedication, craftsmanship way beyond their years. He's the father of painting, oil painting in specific. That to me is just the unrivaled, most beautiful thing on planet Earth.
Reflecting society. We reflect what we experience out there, what we see out there. It's like a visual soundboard for society. I just think at the end of the day, our art must be an honest expression of our experiences. We are not scared to recognize the dark as well as the light in our existence, in our history, the good and the bad. And sometimes we embrace both of those in an artwork. And that is life, that is human experience. And at the end of the day, even once we're not there anymore, I would hope people will still be able to be engaged in front of an artwork for hours and still see a little bit of their own life, their own experiences in there.